What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video, and today is an Ask Me Anything video. Yes, for the first time ever, I am answering your weird and wonderful questions, giving you a bit of context behind me, the channel, my life, things outside of tech, but I will still include some tech in there. As the channel grows, the community grows stronger, and it's uber important to me that I keep that connection with viewers, supporters, and dare I say, some of you are even fans, which is just weird for me to think about. So, without further ado, let's go. So, it seems that the only place to start is the channel. Average Dad. How did it come about, and where did the name come from? Well, the channel came about through the COVID pandemic lockdown. Through sheer boredom, I needed an outlet. I am a fairly creative person, I want to say, and I am so used to public speaking, and we'll talk about why later in the video. I just needed to speak to someone. In this case, it was just my camera. And the channel started out as like a fitness mashup, maybe even eating challenge. I didn't know what I wanted this channel to be until about few videos in, when I received the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, and everything changed from there. Views went up, and then I got the Tag Heuer connected, and that just snowballed. That took me over 1,000 subscribers, and then I got my first foldable. So a question I want to answer is, what's my favourite phone of all time? Well, I have to say it's fairly recent. It's about 3, nearly 4 years old now, and it's the Vivo X Fold. Yes, the original X Fold original was the phone that took my channel to the next level. It was my first ever foldable, and absolutely the phone that ignited my passion for Chinese foldable devices. To this day, the original Vivo X Fold, which I need to buy and put in a display cabinet, but the original X Fold is still kind of groundbreaking. An 8-inch near creaseless display, a triple camera setup with a 5x optical zoom, and the vegan leather back in that stunning blue colour. I honestly love that device, and it will always have a place true to me in my heart. And in terms of the actual name, Average Dad, my thinking behind it was that we're all average dads, we're all average parents, and that's all we should kind of try to be in a way. Parenting is difficult, so trying to excel is just going to put undue stress. Make sure your kids are happy, healthy, educated. Everything else is up to them. Just do your average best. So yeah, Average Dad came from that, but welcome to all the average mums, aunties, uncles, grannies, grandpas and sisters watching the channel nowadays. And sticking with YouTube, and I guess now I want to talk about my inspirations, if you like. Aaron, aka Mr. Who's the Boss. He's the one. He's my goat. He is the one that consistently pours his heart into every single videos. And I'm not talking about the editing and B-roll and stuff. He's got teams for that. I'm talking about what he actually puts across to you on camera. I want to get to the stage where I have a large enough community to be able to do that as well. If I'm being entirely honest with myself, right now I've got 32,000 subscribers that just want to see phones. Most of them. Some of you are still watching this video and like to hear stuff like this. But I want to get to the stage where you kind of know more about me. That's where this video idea came from. I feel like I know Aaron, Mr. Who's the Boss, better than any other tech YouTuber. Watching his wedding speech video, I'm not ashamed to say, almost put a tear in my eye. Watching his recent goodbye video to his family home to move in with his wife, I feel connected to him more than any other YouTube tech reviewer. In fact, more than any other YouTuber, period. And that's super important for me as a family person, as someone that likes to connect with human beings. It's important that you watching this video, or any of my videos, even if I'm just giving a first impressions on a phone, I want you to be able to tell that I like the phone or I don't like the phone, not just through the words I'm saying, but through my expressions. And I know that sounds cheesy and weird to say, but it's all about connections. Yes, I'm speaking to a camera and you're watching on an electronic device, but I've said this before, I'm going to try and meet as many members as possible, subscribers, and travel and do all this stuff, because we get so consumed in our own little bubbles, we forget how absolutely amazing the world is. I have people watching in Zimbabwe. I have people watching in China, all over the world. I get recognised now, which is just wild to me. But it's also pretty damn cool. So I can only imagine the scale as to which Mr. Who's the Boss has to go through that. But I can almost guarantee that every interaction he has is pleasant and honest. So Aaron, congratulations, you are the GOAT. Now, a couple of tech ones here, because I always get asked this. I've already told you my favourite foldable phone of all time. It's the Vivo X Fold. But my favourite candy bar phone of all time, you're going to hate me for this, but probably the iPhone. The iPhone 4. The iPhone 4 was one of the first smartphones I ever had. It had a square boxy design and it was like tiny. So that's my favourite smartphone probably of all time. But in recent times, my favourite candy bar phone of 2024, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, it's the Vivo X100 Ultra. It packs everything I want from a phone. A large screen, huge screen, big battery, and the best triple camera setup on any device. Other questions I get asked is, do I get nervous making videos? No, I don't get nervous making the videos. I do sometimes think, oh Christ, I need to get a video out today. And you've all heard about YouTube burnout. I'm not immune to that. I've had to take time out, which you all know about. I like to take time away with the family or just by myself, wander a random city. I need that me time. It's important. And until recently, when I had a full-time job and the channel and of course the Average Dad Tech Store, it was all just getting a bit too much. So I took like a week to 10 days out from doing any videos and reevaluated things. So that meant quitting my job. And for those that ask, which is a lot, I can now tell you, I could have told you at the time, but I don't know, I had this weird thing that I didn't want people to know what I was doing. But I worked for the Scottish Parliament. That's what I'd done before. I'm obviously Scottish, so working for the Scottish Parliament was quite a big, prestigious thing. I was essentially a civil servant. I had a really good pension, really good salary. I was like kind of middle level to senior management role. And I loved it. I had the perfect team. I had the perfect boss. I really had the perfect job. But I had to make the choice, not just from a financial point of view, but just from a life point of view. What do I want to give my 100% all into, and what do I want to succeed most at? And for me, it's this channel and the tech store. So that was a recent choice I made. I quit my full-time job at the Scottish Parliament and I now do this full-time. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been about a month since I made that choice, and this has been the busiest, most successful in metrics and views and subscriber gain month and orders from the store and just quality of life. Now, one thing that has absolutely gone downhill since starting this channel and having, a lot of commitments is my weight. Again, I mentioned that I had like a fitness goal at the start of this channel. It's going to be like a fitness channel because I was quite fit. I have grown up playing football and boxing and doing some jiu-jitsu and doing lots of different things. But then I had children, which again is another question I get asked. Yes, I am a real dad. I have 2 kids. I have 2 sons. One is called Theo and one is called Max. There you go. Theo is 8 and Max is 5. This is them. They are my world. They are my everything. As soon as Theo came along 8 years ago, the gym started to come less and less, and parenting became more and more. And then Max came along. I'm married as well, of course. I got married 10 years ago, almost to the day, to my wonderful wife, Katrina. So there you go. That's that behind the scenes connection I'm trying to build with you and let you know that I am just a family guy. Now, in terms of, we're getting back to tech here again. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but in terms of phones I'm looking forward to, believe it or not, Samsung nights, the Samsung SE is one of them. I have never been this excited about a Samsung device. And for the many, many of you that have ordered the Samsung, it'll be here with you by hopefully around the 15th. Shipping starts on November 8th, this Friday, and within a week you should all have the devices, including me. And I can't wait. I can't wait to get all the videos, the first impression, the review, the comparisons, because I truly think that One UI on a large format foldable phone is going to be a game changer. And of course, having a global ROM comes with some benefits over a Chinese ROM. But speaking of Chinese ROMs, the other phone I'm most looking forward to is, no shock here, the Vivo X Fold 4 or the X Fold Pro or whatever they decide to name it. Chinese, Asian market have a thing about the number 4, so I'm not sure if it'll be called the X Fold 4, time will tell, but whatever they call it, that's the one for me. And that will be another phone like the Honor Magic V3 that will absolutely explode on the store. And here is my promise to you. I will make sure that my Average Dad Tech store has the X Fold 4 or whatever it's called for the cheapest price anywhere, even if I have to give them away at complete cost, because it is important to me that you have access to the best tech for the cheapest prices, especially when it comes to Vivo. They are just the best. The best. Vivo's the best. Now, a few other things that people ask along the way. Why is the text so big on the phones and the video? Two reasons. One, it's easier for you to actually read on a small screen if you're viewing on a phone or a tablet. Two, I need it. 10 years ago, Average Dad, me, my name is Mike, I was diagnosed with an eye condition called Stargards. So I had the real benefit of having to give my driving license back to the government. Yes, they took my driving license away 10 years ago, nearly at my 30th birthday. And for the last 10 years, I've been unable to drive. I have struggled with small text. Stargards is dead light receptors in the eye and the central vision. Essentially think of it as a pixeled screen. A lot of my pixels are dying, therefore I'm losing vision. Luckily that seems to have plateaued, it doesn't get worse, but I'll miss, if I'm reading a book, which is almost impossible now, I'll miss letters and words, and my brain will piece together what it thinks it should be. So I could be reading a Stephen King novel, but my brain interprets it as like a comedy, because it's filling in the blanks itself. That's the easiest way for me to describe it. But with Elon Musk, Neuralink, and future advancements, I am very, very confident between that and stem cells. The light receptors at the back of everyone's eyeballs, yours are all fine, but mine are dying. I am hopeful they can be repaired so that one day I can teach my kids how to drive and drive again. So there you go. Another thing you probably didn't know about me, but now you do. And then finally, let's just touch on some interests, hobbies that I have. I like to watch football, soccer if you're in the US. I like to watch the UFC, big UFC fan. In a previous life, I used to blog, vlog, and do certain articles about the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Yeah, you know that thing where people get in cages. I find it a beautiful sport. Not many people do, but I love it. As mentioned, because I no longer drive, there is a certain amount of silver lining, being that there's not 2 cars in a household. Therefore, I save money, which means I can then invest in other such interests, such as watches. Yes, I have been this close to creating a second channel, and I might still do it. Comment down below if you're still watching it to this point. Comment down below if I should start an Average Dad watch channel. I love watches. Now, smart watches, yes, but nicer luxury watches. I'm recently starting to build a bit of a collection. But again, that's because I don't have the outgoings of a car or insurance to worry about. So don't think I'm suddenly minted or rolling in it. I'm not. It's just I can put the money that I would spend on a car towards something else. So watches are my thing. Rolex are obviously the brand, but I have 19 centimeter wrists, big wrists, ladies. So big watches are for me. Anything 41 mil and below is really too small, so I go for the larger. So I've got the Yachtmaster 2 steel, that is a 44 mil watch. I've got the James Cameron Deep Sea, that's a 43 millimeter watch, and then there's a couple of others dotted about there. I like the Tudor Back Bay is the chronograph white dial. I've got that, but that's a 41 millimeter, and that's definitely the lowest. My Grail watch would be an AP Royal Oak and probably a Daytona Ghost. But having tried on the Daytona, it's 40 millimeter on the Oyster Flex bracelet. Just looks a bit small for me, and I am not one to buy a watch and leave it in a safe, sitting, doing nothing. That seems absolutely pointless to me. If you're buying something in life, use it, enjoy it. Otherwise, what's the point? So, this has been, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of me chatting about, well, me. But I think it's important to do so every now and then. So if you've enjoyed this completely random video, please smash like and let me know in the comments. In terms of views, I'm not expecting many, but as I explained, I want to keep and build a true connection between myself and viewers. I obviously have the WhatsApp chat. You can sign up through Buy Me a Coffee. We got 7 new channel members yesterday, so thank you. If you are one of those people, please message me on Instagram or WhatsApp if you haven't already been added to the Average Dad members WhatsApp group, and I'll send you the link. And if you'd like to join, link in description. Few pounds a month and you can have access to the WhatsApp chat. And of course, next month, the first week of December, I'll be giving away a phone. One lucky winner can choose any phone from the Average Dad tech store, apart from the Huawei Mate XT because it costs an arm and a leg. But any other phone, that's just what I want to do. I think that is a nice thing to do before Christmas. Hopefully you agree. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Until next time.